Nick, when the Detroit Lions moved up to number 12 overall to select Jameson Williams as their wide receiver in the draft, it was clear, it was evident that they thought he was an extremely special player. There were some other receivers on the board at the time that they could have gone after, but Williams, injury aside, everything aside, they decided to select him and trade a lot to get up to that position to get him because he has something that the Lions want. He had that game-breaking speed. He has a lot of talent. He's just a very special receiver, and I think that as a player, he's going to be able to contribute a lot to the Lions. And we have a story that kind of backs that up. Before we get into the story, Nick, I want to ask the Lions fans in the comments below, let us know, how many touchdowns do you think Jameson Williams scores this year as a rookie? Total. Whether it's any facet of special teams or offense, what do you think he's going to contribute as far as touchdown total to the Lions? Comment that below. But Nick, I think you have a story on Williams.
Yeah, so Kelly Rowe over at SB Nation reported about Detroit Lions assistant special teams coach Jeff Modkins being itching to put Jameson Williams to work on special teams, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, you trade up really high in the draft to get a big play wide receiver. It's kind of surprising to see that the Lions are really excited to use him on special teams. Modkins said, once he gets back out there, we'll probably throw little hints out there, try to get the keys to the car, Modkins said, trying to get Williams to line up for more special teams reps and a number of opportunities. So obviously, Miles, the Lions are really, really high on Jameson Williams. They would not move up, like you said, to get Williams in the draft where they did. But I think what the Lions see in Williams is they kind of see him as sort of a total trend shifter in what he can do. Because I think what's really interesting with the Lions is of all of their weaknesses, they actually were pretty good in the kick and punt return game last season. They finished top 5 in both kick and punt return average per attempts, which kind of surprised me. Khalif Raymond's actually a really nice returner. A budding wide receiver talent as well. So the fact that they look at Jameson Williams, traded up to get him, and are willing to deploy him, they think he is a game-breaking talent who can turn 20-yard returns, 30-yard returns into touchdowns. They basically see him as a guy who can just flip the game 100% in their favor with his explosive playmaking ability. Basically, we talked about a Tyreek Hill 2.0, but maybe even more so. I mean, it's clear the Lions could not be higher on what Williams can bring to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing that he brings to the table is the Lions were really trying to work on their receiver room as a whole. Obviously, they had Amon-Ra St. Brown last season, who came out to be pretty good player. They traded for DJ Shark, or picked him up in free agency. I can't remember which one it was, but they acquired Shark. And obviously adding Williams, this takes a receiver room who is probably towards the bottom of the NFL and moves them up, I'd say, above average at least, depending on Williams' development. But like you said, in the kicking game, I think it's very interesting because you always try to move a rookie back there, for at least for the first year or two. So like I'm a Baltimore fan. Obviously, I think Devin Duvernay got put at kick return duties. James Prochet got a couple punt return duties. The same with Duvernay, and they excel. But those are guys who are like 3rd round picks. Yeah. When you get a 1st round pick and you have aspirations of special teams duties for them, it's going to be a guy like a Tyreek Hill who's absolutely electric when they touch the ball in their hands. It's going to go, like, you're looking touchdown every single time. And if the Lions can get that early out of Williams, I think this is going to help give them sparks in games that they need. Because I think that's all the Lions needed last year. They lost a lot of really, really, really close games. Yep. And if they had just a couple of sparks on special teams side of the ball, they'd be perfect, don't you think?
Yeah, it's just one more big play, right? Just something that can shift, it turns a drive that may have resulted into a field goal into a touchdown. A drive that may have been a 3 and out, you get a big punt return or a big kickoff return, and suddenly it's a touchdown or field goal. That's the difference when you're playing a lot of close games. But the Lions also, in the same report at SB Nation, mentioned that they love his character. They love the fact that even in Alabama, Jameson Williams, All-American receiver, was a gunner, which meant, obviously covering punts at Alabama. And Modkins talked about how much they love that in his energy. So it's not just his playmaking ability, it's his team first mentality that the Lions and Dan Campbell and that entire organization really has to be excited about.
Now, being a 1st round receiver, I don't think they're going to be putting Williams as a gunner. But knowing Dan Campbell, like, maybe he does something like that, like toughen him up a little bit, like, But I don't think he's going to be a gunner. But special teams returner, kick returner, punt returner, I think he could be electric back there. I think of like really high draft pick guys. Guys that come to mind, like superstars, would be like Patrick Peterson. Was a great punt returner, not a receiver, obviously, but just a high level talent. Someone who wasn't taken quite as high, but like Tyrann Mathieu was pretty decent in the return game. But like you said, I think Williams is a special player. I think that the Lions know what they have in him, and just any way that you can get him on the field with the ball in his hands is going to do better for you. Like you said, if it's just a couple extra yards in the kick returning game, converts into more field goals, gives you another win. So that's all the Lions need, is just that little extra push, and I think that's what Williams provides. All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.